This episode of the Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Jack Threads. Disney buys Lucasfilm, and we have a new Star Wars coming. It's just too crazy not to talk about.
Today we are going to talk about some major news that I'm sure you are well aware of, but we have a lot to say about it.
I would dare say some of the biggest news that has ever hit in our lifetime.
About movies.
Yeah.
But
I
about
mean,
geek in the
about
geek
pop
world,
culture,
it's
yeah.
a megaton of
It's-
geek explosion.
There is nothing
Yeah.
bigger, and I don't know how you guys heard, but I first read that Disney acquired Lucasfilm first, and was like, whoa.
right.
Holy crap.
Mind boggles.
Wow, okay.
Wow, that's the
Interesting.
biggest news I could hear.
Interesting.
You might as well shut off my phone.
Yeah.
And then on Twitter was confirmed, Disney
Iger
Lucasfilm
says-
making episode 7 in 2015. And
I
was
was
like,
like-
no, I wasn't even that. I was like, right, okay. And that's not true.
Right, because it was on Twitter.
Yeah, it was on Twitter.
You're
It was like,
some
it was
jagoffs.
okay. And I kept reading, and everyone's saying it. And I keep reading, and then there's like official Variety articles about it. I was like, oh my God. My heart started racing.
Yeah.
I couldn't think. Right? What
So
was-
many minds
Before we
flooded.
get into
I was in a car.
thoughts, I
was
want to
in a
know
car.
where you were when we were
I was in my car.
Yeah.
I was listening to the radio. I think I might have been coming back from the MOBA thing. That
Yeah,
we
you
talked about,
probably
Guardians
were.
of
I was on
the
my
thing
way
we're
to-
gonna talk
Yeah,
about.
I almost texted you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I went straight to that.
And I was
meeting
listening to NPR
Yeah.
or BBC America or something, or
Yeah.
I'm sorry, BBC World Service or whatever. And the progression was almost the exact same, which was driving along. It was like, Disney announces it's bought Lucasfilm for $4.4 billion. I was like, whoa, that's a big news. It was like, and here, the big announcement is that there'll be a Star Wars Episode 7 movie coming in 2015. And I was like, bang, bang, and I was like,
say that, it's
what?
Yeah.
It was like a Home Alone moment.
Yeah, I was in my car and I had just come from a meeting and I was just like on Twitter and it was like, yeah, it was the same
You
thing.
had pulled over. You were not driving.
I was not driving. I knew better than to be driving.
Having a hot dog on the side of the road.
Yeah, and
Casually.
I mean, the idea of a new Star Wars.
Before we,
I mean, we've been burned. We've been burned.
Well,
but
Wait, before we get into Star Wars, hold on. Let's parse Disney, Lucasfilm.
So, George,
What are your thoughts on that before we get into Star Wars?
Well, first of all, the idea that
Actually, let me give some background. Because in the past year, Kathleen Kennedy, who has produced almost every movie you love. She produced E.T., her and her husband, Frank Marshall, produced every Spielberg movie. They were the Kennedy Marshall. They were the team. Kathleen Kennedy just recently moved over to Lucasfilm sometime in the past year.
to head it up to take over for Lucas.
basically, Lucas was talking about
He had other people
Trying to retire.
but now Lucas is like officially like retiring.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to find some place that would have the longevity to handle the brand
I have to say,
of all Lucasfilm properties.
but I also do have to say,
Star Wars
hats
and
off
other
to
things.
George Lucas because one of the first off, and mind blowing. Yeah, they got Lucasfilms. They also got ILM, Skywalker
Well, ILM is
Sound.
going to be independent still, sort of work. Nothing's going to change for ILM. It's not like ILM's only doing Disney movies now.
No, not
They're
at all.
still
But Disney owns them,
autonomous.
which is
Yeah.
crazy.
But Disney owns
here-
Disney, Marvel,
Pixar,
Star Wars.
Yeah.
They own everything that I love.
Everything. But here's the thing that I'm going to say, hats off to
Thank
George
you for
Lucas.
my Disney stock, by the
Yeah,
way,
yeah, yeah.
on my wedding.
You're
wedding
welcome.
Gift. Yes.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That one share is going crazy.
Dan's retiring like
hats
George.
off to George Lucas because one of the reasons why he sold the company, not just retired and let the company still go and be the owning shareholder, was because he has said that he wants to get into not only philanthropy, which is great, and he's giving a lot of the money, if not half, I think,
No,
fully
$5
half.
billion.
Yeah, to
$5 billion
charity, which is
to
great.
his education fund,
Education
which is
fund.
amazing.
Which is amazing. But he also wants to get into doing some more sort of experimental film stuff. And he said, I didn't want that to impact Lucasfilm. which is great. He's like, look, I might go do some crazy stuff, and I don't want those to be Lucasfilm movies because that may bring down
why didn't
the
he say
brand.
that in 1998?
Although, to be fair, that probably made Lucasfilm a lot of money. Episode
no
1, 2,
doubt
and
it did,
3,
no
and
doubt.
Clone Wars and everything subsequent. So I have to say hats off to him to be like, I'm going to go out and do other stuff, and I don't want it to be... Here's one of the things to note, by the way, that really blew my mind was usually when companies get sold, there are lots of shareholders. But in this case, there was one shareholder. There is literally only one person that owned any portion of Lucasfilms, and that was George Lucas.
It was George Film.
That is unbelievable. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Companies don't start, especially massive companies like Lucasfilms, they just don't get the opportunity to start and still have only one person owns it. I mean, that is ridiculous. That in and of itself is like, God, freaking George Lucas, man.
And now there's
Hey, man.
All right, let's talk about the freaking movies. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay. What I was gonna say, what about now theme park rides based on Indiana Jones?
we already
Star
have those.
Wars?
We don't. Yeah, it's not like
We have rides, but what about Star World?
Well, Star Wars Land
Yeah.
would be. Let's make that happen immediately, if not sooner.
right. So you go to.
But to be honest, I
so
mean,
it's not like you just go on Star Tours. It's like there's the whole world, and you go to Mos Eisley Cantina.
I'm ready
you
for
go to
that.
Hoth.
No, come on,
I
bring
want
it, make it
that
Fake
happen.
snow.
want that
There's
now.
got to be a team working on that already. Let's make it happen.
Okay.
Go.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's talk
take
about
all my money. How much money do I need to give you in order to make that happen?
Star Wars Episode 7 is coming out in 2 years,
Unbelievable.
2
Well, supposedly
years.
there's already been a ton of work on it.
which means that they have said, well, we're meeting with writers. No. If it's coming out in 2 years, they probably already have a writer and they probably already have a director. But
And I'm
let's
sure. I think from what I
Okay.
understand, there's been a script for a while, and they.
No. George Lucas had a treatment.
A treatment.
That he stole. That was part of the deal. They may or may not use said treatment. Let me just say too, Kathleen Kennedy, this is good news. She has produced phenomenal movies. This is in very, very good hands.
Well, but let's throw
We should
out.
also say.
But we should throw. I want to. I mean, we'll let you do what you want to do.
Yeah,
But I want to. At some point in this conversation, throw out any bearing of reality of what's actually going to happen, and just say, now we know that Star Wars Episode 7 is happening. What do we
want?
Perfect world.
Yeah. So what? So you tweeted something interesting, which was you don't want
should direct it?
to continue. Yeah. So let's talk more about that. No. You twittered out. You didn't want. I'm fascinated by this. I don't agree with this.
What? Go.
You said you don't want a continuation of.
No.
What is sort of in the
Luke, Leia,
books, right?
Han.
Luke, Leia, and Han's children, let's say.
Well, there's lots of
or
books.
Whatever.
Let's just say that, too. There's
but
lots of
you were
books
saying
there.
you just want the odd corners of the universe stories that you would see in.
Here's what I want. Here's my
Okay, so
my
tell us what you
dream
want.
scenario.
Yeah.
I think the story of Darth Vader, close that book, done, put it on the shelf, we're done with Darth Vader. He has 6 movies of his own, 3 of them are good. So, what I would love to have happen is a new Star Wars saga that starts with Episode 7, that takes place in the Star Wars universe, all new mythos. We're not meeting Boba Fett's friends, we're not meeting Jabba, we're not meeting any of the characters. I mean, there's stuff that's familiar, we're still seeing stormtroopers hang, whatever, but it's post-Jedi universe, but it's a different part of the universe starting a different story. I don't necessarily want Knights of the Old Republic, like thousands of years difference before or after. It can happen later, but put us in the shoes of someone else, and then we get a cameo of Mark Hamill. Just Mark Hamill, just a cameo. There's something happening. They need advice. He comes in one scene as Luke and gives advice. That's as much a connection to the classic characters as I need. You get a whole new set of toys. You get a whole new set of worlds to play in. We're not on Hoth. We're not on Tatooine. Tatooine should not be a part of this at all. It's all new. It's all let all these designers who are so freaking amazing at LucasArts or Lucasfilm, and let them go crazy designing a whole new place that is Star Wars, and start it fresh. And you still have those little hooks. You still have that universe that still has Jedis in it, and still have all that stuff that makes Star Wars Star Wars. But it's not the same families, that makes the universe feel so small because, we're bumping into the same 6 people that we met in the first 3 movies that were the middle 3 movies. You know what I mean?
Everything you said is basically what I'd want out of a TV series, but not what I'd want out of a movie. Alex, how do you feel about that? What would you want out of a by the way, episode 7, 2015, episode 8, 2018, episode 9, or every 2 years we're gonna get
19,
we're getting the next trilogy, not just episode. So what do you want out of the what do you want out of the next Star Wars trilogy that is 100% absolutely coming to theaters? You're going to be seeing them. And what's crazy is what do you want?
I don't want that I don't want that far removed, but I also don't want it to be Luke's son.
You want Jaina Solo? Which is the book series of Jaina Solo is.
So you don't want that. You don't want the
daughter of
but
Han
here's
and
the thing.
Leia.
Right. I could do Jaina Solo that has nothing to do with Han, that I don't see Han or Leia. That'd be cool. You know what I mean? And she meets
the next
totally
generation.
other people. Well, but not Luke Skywalker's son. Not what they purported to do with Hogwarts at the end. You know what I mean? I don't want Jaina Solo. Bilbo Starwalker and, Darth Vader's puppy.
Let's be honest, it would be a mistake to name him Bilbo.
Yeah,
it would be a
I
mistake.
mean? Hey, I don't know how this stuff works. Cross-pollinating.
That's not a
movies.
Disney property. It's more like it's going to be Mickey Solo.
Mickey Solo. Or Mickey Skywalker. No, but so that's the thing, is I don't want it to be like the characters that sons and daughters doing adventures. But
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, no, you're saying one offspring of the people that we know doing something completely outside of what, you know what I mean?
No, I'm not saying even do the offspring. Have it be
I know.
new families.
Yes, what I'm saying is I don't need it to be that far away.
Okay.
It could be, Jaina Solo or whatever her name is, and her adventures totally devoid of any connection other than that is the daughter of Han and Leia. That I'm okay with, because I like to have that sort of, oh my God, you know what I mean? Are we gonna see them maybe? Oh, no, we never do. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I'm okay with that kind of world. I think what you're worried about, which I think could happen, is that she took ownership of R2-D2. So it's her and R2-D2, and his buddy C-3PO happens to come along, and, a little baby Wookiee is her pet. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of stuff like that.
Sounds so wrong.
I know.
That sounds wrong.
I know, and that's the stuff that I don't want to see happen. But I think
more likely.
I don't know if I agree with that, because I think that if they take at the core, the other thing is some of the best video games that we got from the series have nothing to do with the characters from the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I hope that they go. And I agree with you. I think Tatooine is done. Dunskies. Dust is done. Let the dust settle on Tatooine. Maybe go
Why
to
are you
Mos
guys feel the way
Eisley
about
once.
Tatooine?
Tatooine was supposed to be a hiding place in the corner of the galaxy that no one would ever look, not the center of the fucking universe.
But that could still be.
So it's same with Hoth. It's supposed to be a hiding place
But that
where
could
no one
still
would ever
be,
look.
Well, they could still use that in that way. It isn't. You're saying you don't want it. I don't understand why they don't. They could still be. They could have to hide out
I think
somewhere.
also
Tatooine
Tatooine brings a lot of leftover issues with it because of the whole big. I mean, one of the biggest standout problems I had with the 3 movies,
the prequels,
is that thing that I can't get out of my head, which is why would Jedis be wearing homeless Tatooine guy wear?
That's
before
not Jedi
they were homeless
garb.
Tatooine guy wear?
I mean, that's kind of a part of it.
I know, I know, but
yeah.
that's one of those things where that issue connects to Tatooine to me.
I
so if
see.
they never go to Tatooine, hopefully, and theoretically, after Return of the Jedi, none of the Jedi should be wearing any kind of Jedi stuff because they're just now coming back into existence.
Right.
So I'm hoping that we get.
They're gonna want to keep up traditions, I think. It's funny that you
It's
guys.
not like a Hanukkah robe.
I feel very different from you guys. I actually.
But I am beyond excited for whatever they're going to do, and I will love whatever they do.
I'm not going to go that far.
So I like that we'll have a new through line now. It's no longer Darth Vader's story, but I love that whatever we see in this new adventure, being able to have the baggage of the things that I know have come before it. It's what I loved about when I finally rewatched all the Lord of the Rings movie in one foul swoop was when the Eowyn moment of I'm Not a Man at the end of the thing. I remembered her in 6 hours earlier, a whole movie earlier that I saw a year before, in Two Towers where she's like being put down by all the men and whatever. I love that kind of weight that long serialized stories bring. And I mean, there's definitely, I would argue that that's going to be more the direction that they're going to take.
So you
The
want Harrison
cinematic
Ford,
story-
Carrie Fisher, Mark
No,
Hamill?
it's going to be brand new. It'll be their children. They may be in there as grandpa, whatever. Or
do you think that?
I think it's like what it is just like the Last Airbender Korra, how they handled that. Where it's exactly much better than my Lord of the Rings reference. Forget that I said the Lord of the Rings thing, because that was not totally accurate.
Yeah.
It's the grandchildren of the characters that we've seen in the original thing. And when they say something to someone, it's a brand new story, and it's engaging in a completely different way. And boy, can I not wait to see how this looks.
God.
The idea that a new Star Wars is coming out, and we don't even know what it looks like.
But isn't
what it feels like blows my mind. But so I love the idea of those saying something, and it's like, oh. And that's so powerful because we know that when his grandfather said the same thing to that guy, and that means that the guilt that the grandpa had of killing his own father, and now it's like, and that's on his shoulders in a way without him knowing. And
I also agree that Korra is a perfect analogy, but to reinforce my argument of different area, different place, new feel, new, like the fact that they went and said there's cars now and it's a completely different.
Yeah, I mean,
aesthetic.
I think that's problems that a lot of people have with the prequels, though, is that, now everything's shiny and new, and Naboo looks so different than the original.
No,
I actually would love for it to have the grit of the original trilogy, and it to be. I think we're both coming at from different directions, where it is new people, but it's still involved. It's some new things, but it's still involving the same. It's a combination of the two.
Korra is the
It's
perfect
new and
example,
same.
because like when somebody would come up and they would be like, well, that even just finding out, like, well, her grandmother Toph, and it's like, so much comes into that play, so much. If that happens where it's like, Uncle Owen and Aunt Faru, where maybe they have a daughter we've never met, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden it's like, now that's the person that's like, wait, what? You know what I mean? Like those moments of, oh my God, that's
just
so-and-so's daughter.
When that happened in the prequel trilogy, it made the world shrink for me.
But also because this is the difference that you got to keep in mind, is that was telling a story we already knew.
Yeah,
we're just seeing events that we already kind of know this stuff, and it's got it had this brick wall that it was all coming towards.
And it was
this
filling
is
in backstories. All those
all
movies were doing is filling in
This
backstory.
is all like, who knows? It's all brand new.
I'm very excited.
Oh my God.
I'm excited and scared.
Exciting and new.
Now, Dream Team writer directors.
I mean, I think we're all on the same page that we want it to be fresh, young voices that will take it and really be bold with it and not be conservative and not be traditional and
I don't agree with that completely.
No?
I have very weird feelings when people have made they say Spielberg is interesting. It's never going to be Steven Spielberg, but there's choices that are
Darren Aronofsky.
And David Fincher, and like directors that like I have a problem with it being like Darren Aronofsky's Star Wars Episode 7.
That's exactly what I'm
like,
agreeing with you.
It's George Lucas. Like it's Star Wars. I don't want to see Christopher Nolan's take on Batman Begins.
You want Owen Kirshner.
I don't want to see an alternate version. I want to see a real craftsman adapt the best version of a Star Wars movie. Not put their visual. I would love Joss Whedon. It can't be.
Let me just do a voice against Joss Whedon, because everybody's right. Give it to fucking Joss Whedon.
No, it's not going to be Joss Whedon.
But let me just
the Avenger. What he did with the Avengers, where there's a little bit.
Why
of
do you
him,
not like a Joss Whedon?
But it's a
let him stay with Marvel.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Fucking.
I know.
He's got a job. And it's very important to me.
It's fine. It's not. Yeah. I mean, that is.
He doesn't need everything.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, I love people saying Brad Bird. I love actually Andrew Stanton, though. What's the movie he did?
Yeah, John Carter.
John Carter didn't. I don't think that's his fault. I think there's a zeitgeist thing. There's other problems, but that is very much how I'd like to see Star Wars. Once again, real locations, but with the aliens in that movie, the special effects were great and humanized.
What about the Wachowskis?
The Wachowskis. See, I don't want that. I don't want their visuals, the way they strong visual styles. Ben Affleck would be really exciting.
Blew my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys that are real craftsmen that dig in great performances that don't distract from the material with their visual style.
Yeah, interesting.
Is what would get me
Dude,
going.
Ben Affleck would be awesome.
Yeah. It's something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
Did you ever think that you would say Ben Affleck with Star Wars would be awesome?
He's directed 3 of the best movies of the decade.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying it's funny coming out of our mouths.
Yeah.
So much more to find out.
Oh man, it's unbelievable.
But any
to
other
me.
a director that you would love or write, or
I don't really.
any others? Just because I feel like that's sort of fun. No? Okay.
I think that's your department. I'll say I have a new favorite Disney princess.
Yeah, that's funny. Did you see that lady that went at Halloween? She did the mouse ears out of the thing and
buns?
dressed as Leia with the mouse ears.
There will be many more of those.
Many more of those. Lucasfilm and Disney.
Star Wars Episode 7,
Unbelievable.
2015.
All right, everybody, be sure to stick around. We're going to be answering one of your Twitter questions right after this. But first, we want to thank our sponsors. Jeff Cannata, how's it going? How's the reception been with the Jack thread? Give me some emails of things to do.
I'll be honest, the song did not go over well.
the song.
I should have had some preparation on the song.
I forgot about the song.
So if you're not aware what we've been doing, Jack Threads wanted to up the ante because they're paying attention.
I love that you just said we've been doing.
Here on the Totally Rad Show.
I know.
Dan
but
and
I'm
Alex
just
and
saying.
I powwowed. We came to a decision about what we wanted to do. And so here's the thing. I've been making a fool of myself doing Jack Threads ads for a while now, but now I'm letting you guys tell me how the fool is going to manifest. So you clear your heads, and the first thing that comes to your head is Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Anyway, so here's what we got. Who sent this one in, Mike? Do we know the name? No, we don't. He'll tell us in a second. But we've done a couple of weird things with the Jack Threads reads.
What was that?
There are two. There's Jordan Smith.
They both said the same thing.
Jordan Smith and Zachariah Ragatz.
They both said the same thing.
Yep.
Walken. They both want walking.
So
Alex does
Jordan
a good walk-in.
Smith and Zachariah
Not
Ragatz.
really.
So we can tag team.
No, I'm
you do a
good.
good walk-in.
It's all good.
So
here we go.
you're
walking
signing
out
up for
the door.
Jack Threads. You take a picture.
Which
and
costs
you
nothing,
signed
by the
up.
way.
Yeah, sign up for. Well, they'll hear in a sec.
Jack Threads
And then,
plus TRS.
and then you take a picture of that, and you tell Jeff how you want the sponsor read to go. Zachariah Ragatz and Jordan Smith suggested.
I don't know why
the voice of Walken.
I don't know why they both suggested this because I'm not known for doing this.
That's probably why they suggested
yes.
it.
Jack Threads has quickly become the online shopping destination for dudes.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Everything on the site is up to 80% off. Because full price is for suckers.
You changed the accent a little bit, and it's basically William Shatner.
I know.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I know.
Kevin. Yeah. They serve up killer contemporary and street apparel, accessories, and gadgets from brands like Converse, Penguin, Nixon, Vans, The Hundreds, John, Barbados, Creative Recreation, New Era, Mostly Tribes, Supra, Ben Sherman.
I love that you keep
So
getting
many.
higher pitched and higher pitched.
Shopping is stupid simple, and all styles are curated so buyer's remorse, it just doesn't happen. Update your fall wardrobe at Jack Threads and get ready for the upcoming holiday season. As a Jack Threads member, if you refer a friend to Jack Threads, you get a $10 shopping credit for each buyer that you refer. What's more, as a viewer of TRS, you can skip the membership waitlist and get instant access at jackthreads.com/TRS. That's jackthreads.com/TRS.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good walk-in, I have to say.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
was not a walking in the park for you.
No.
So seriously, sign up, send me a picture of your sign up. It costs you nothing and you'll save a whole bunch of money on awesome apparel. And you can,
tell
me
them what to do.
you want to do. Thanks guys for
Walking
sending in
was a
that
good one.
stuff.
Good suggestion. All right, people, enjoy yourselves. We'll see you later.
Join us tomorrow for our hands-on preview of Guardians of Middle-earth.
Today's Twitter question sent in with the hashtag TRSQ from Nick Bremer, who's at Bruiser80 on Twitter, is Star Wars Episode 7, what is the subtitle?
This is a tough one. We really should have spent some time thinking.
Do we want to, is it joke, are we joking or are we serious?
Yeah,
Are we-
episode
up to you
7.
guys.
There's money in the galaxy.
Actually, I saw someone on Twitter, it should be called Star Wars Episode 7, A New Hope.
Yeah, wow, that's
Oh,
really
that's
what I
funny.
hope it is.
Yeah.
Episode 7,
More hope.
action figure galore.
Yeah. Or episode 7, different characters, please.
Yeah, I don't know. If we had to go serious town, I mean, we have no
Do you
idea
go
what
with
it would be about.
Revenge, Return?
You can't do it in the first of the trilogy, the new trilogy. Revenge or
Okay,
Return
well,
have to
The
happen.
Phantom Menace,
A New Hope.
No. Phantom Menace.
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones. Then Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the
Right.
Sith.
Then A New Hope. Empire Strikes Back.
Return of the Jedi.
So it's definitely something beginning. It's like
Yeah.
Genesis, you know.
Yeah.
How about
Regenesis or some shit. It's
yeah,
horrible.
like the New World or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, A New World.
Or Old Enemies. You know what I mean? Because it's like theoretically what happened was the Empire was made, and then the Empire was subdued, and the Jedi's came back.
What about-
at the Return of the Jedi's is like the Jedi's now could be back, so then it's got to be about rebuilding the Jedi.
How about Star Wars Episode 7, A New Force?
Ah.
Or Return of the Force.
not bad.
You can't do Return of the Jedi.
How about,
Return
here
of
we
the
go.
Force.
Because they're now
Jedi's Reborn.
yeah, or Star Wars Episode 7,
horrible.
First Class. it's like the first class of Padawans.
That's great.
Yeah.
Episode 7, First Class.
We got a lot of there's a lot
Galaxy-
of- or how about a New Order or something like that?
New Order
yeah, because it's a
with
Jedi
sons,
Order.
yeah, New Order.
Well, the
Blue
Jedi Order,
Monday.
because basically the Jedi Order will be coming back in Episode 7, or starting to rebuild.
Theoretically, yeah. All right, more on that. Well, we
on-
probably just talked
yeah.
about it.
That's the end
Probably.
of that, Nick.